Eliza Caird is an English singer who has worked first under the name Eliza Doolittle and more recently just Eliza. She released her debut album in 2010, which spawned the hits Skinny Jeans and Pack Up. And she had a pop style for that album and her second album. Then, after a break of about 5 years, she's come back with a couple more albums that are in a more of an R&B style. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is a request review. So most of the reviews on my channel are reviews of the list of the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, according to Acclaimed Music, who's a website where some fine people have put together an amalgamated list using critics' lists from a long period of time. This is kind of like a Metacritic thing, but it goes back earlier than Metacritic does, so it can claim to be of all time. And I set myself a challenge, which was to review all 3,000 of them. I'm a bit over 1,000 through. It's taken me nearly 3 years so far. And we'll see if I ever get that. But occasionally I step off the list, and one of the reasons to do that is for request reviews. And it's very easy to request a review. All you need to do is to leave a comment on one of my videos. Now, up until a few days ago, I would have said, "Oh, let's see all comments," but I've come to realise that there are ways that of writing comments, which means that they don't get seen by me. One of them is to be abusive, so don't be abusive. And I don't know what other ways. There are some comments that I found recently on a video that I did about a year ago, and I'd never seen the comments until just now. So I don't really know what's been going on there. Anyway, if you do a comment which isn't a reply to something else and isn't abusive, I should see it. But also, I will give you an acknowledgement. And so if you don't get an acknowledgement within a couple of days, then just try again. I do not ever guarantee that I will review everything that people request. I have occasionally not done so, and often won't explain why, because the reasons will tell you things that I don't want to bring out into the public eye. But most of them I do, and I've got a little list that I've got of request reviews. And yours will go on to the bottom of the pile, and I'll work around to it if I'm going to do it. So what happened here was a user called, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Nadetesera 9640 made a comment on one of my videos, and which said, "Great, next time try Eliza, A Sky Without Stars." I took that to be a request. I did a reply to that effect, and now here I am. I'm reviewing this album. So initially, I found it hard to get any information about Eliza until after I'd listened twice, I realised that she used to work under the name Eliza Doolittle. Now that meant suddenly there was a bit more about her. There was a Wikipedia page. I thought there wasn't a Wikipedia page. There isn't a page for this album. Her first album was quite successful. In fact, somewhere I've got a CD copy of it, and it's a rare one that I didn't actually rip for some reason, because I can't find it in my electronic collection. So I wonder where it is. I really enjoyed her single "Pack Up," which made me get her album. This is quite different to that. This I would describe as being alternative R&B. I'm not sure how good a description that is. Certainly R&B is a term that's been used for her in her recent stuff. So here's the thing. Almost all the time, I hate modern R&B, modern pop R&B. This has messed with my head because I like it. So it's making me go, right, what is it that is about this that I like it, that I don't like about a lot of other modern R&B? Or what is it about a lot of other modern R&B that means I don't like that, whereas it's missing from here, and I do like it. So there are a couple of things that immediately I can latch onto. One is there's no obvious auto-tune. And when I say not obvious, that means I couldn't detect it. There may be auto-tune in there, because I know auto-tune has got very good. But there's that kind of, it's that sound as made very popular by Cher at one point, which is the very obvious autotune, which I mostly dislike. It's also not very stoppy starty, which some R&B is. It kind of does, a few bars of having a rhythm and then stops and has a few with that and then restarts it again. It's just forever. It doesn't kind of get going and stay going. And sometimes that's okay again, but most of the time I find it irritating. But this doesn't do that. It also feels, and I think this is where it really is, it feels less artificial, less plastically produced. So we've got several things I'm going to dig into here about the sounds that's going on. So we've got drum sounds, but especially the hi-hat sounds like a real hi-hat. It's not kind of drill sounds. It sounds actually like it's a fairly large real hi-hat. It's got a low sound. And either played through or played a bit and then looped, or taken from samples and programmed, but then very well humanized. So there is this process that can be done if you program some music, which is to fake it, to make it sound as if it's not been programmed, but it's actually been really played. If that's the case here, they've done that amazingly well. Um, there are other bits, so other instruments, of course. There's gentle guitars played and I think looped. There are other noises. There's some 80s electronic sounds. There's violin on a couple of tracks, which is nice. And then there's nice bass at times. Now, my memory, and I'm not going to track back through, is that, oh, yeah, there's some nice bass. It may be, looking at the credits that I found, there's only one track where it says bass played on this track, which is on the cusp. And it might be that's the one that stuck in my head for the bass. But I certainly didn't object to the bass in the others. So maybe, yeah, it's programmed, but it's done well again. Um, the whole thing is musically quite laid back and down tempo. I would say it is to R&B as Portishead were to big beat electronica. It's just like slowing things down, making it a bit more ephemeral is possibly a good word for this. It's harmonically diverse. There's some interesting stuff going on at times. Especially, there's a bit towards the end of the second track, which is a Tear for the Dreadful, that feels quite Eastern European. Eastern European. It reminds me of some Egyptian stuff that I've heard. But there's other stuff at various points that's just it's slightly out of the normal in terms of the harmony. That it maybe has a slight world feel to it, but also adds some stuff to it. The singing, very low key and almost muttered, very much kind of breathing it out rather than even really singing through. As I said, I can't detect auto-tune in it. There's some nice harmony singing. That's a very R&B thing. One of the few things in modern R&B that I do sometimes like is quite a lot of little stings of harmony coming in. Um, the words are very understated, so I didn't really pick up on them. There are some occasional swear words that kind of stuck out to me because those are words that I tend to register even when I'm not really listening to the words. The whole thing is mostly it's got nice grooves. There are bits that are kind of slightly funky, which gives it a good feel. So this is definitely something that makes it more attractive to me. It's got an interesting overall feel. It's got this kind of muted feel, and some of the production is just slightly bathroomy in a kind of reverby way. My biggest criticism is that it's a bit samey through the album in terms of production and sounds used. That is very much a modern thing, though. Is you you have a genre and everything has to be strictly in that genre. Um, but no, it was I did like it. I liked it quite a lot actually. So it went down well with me. So thank you for let's get that name again. Nadek States. No, I can't pronounce it. Whoever it was who requested this, thank you for that because it not only was something that I enjoyed, but it's something that made me think particularly about what is the difference between this and the stuff that I don't like. So I'd love to know what you think. that not just the person who requested it, anybody. You heard this album, or if you haven't, go and have a listen. Let me know what you think of the album by leaving me a comment. And that's it from me for now.
What's it gonna be? What you gonna do? You came for me, I came for you. Something's happening.